Hi everyone. This is the very first time, of course, that I've made a video for you, and it's also the first time that I've ever made a video like this from my house. I usually make them in my office, and it's a little bit easier, but we'll see how this works. I've also, as I'm working with this whole talking to my telephone. This is not my webcam. I place myself a little bit better in the middle here. I'm working on lighting and sound and all of that stuff. So um, this is a trial run, but I guess it's you have to start someplace and sometime. Now, the purpose of this video is to talk to you about Aristotle, and I've been a little bit slow in getting this to you because I wanted to make sure it was right, and we did it at the very right time because this is an important transition in our class. So far, we've looked at the cave, we've looked at the apology, we've looked at a little part of the symposium. You've done 4 or 5 quests, and you've done a major paper. I wanted to give you some breathing time before we kind of got on to the next part of the class. And in a way, we're not quite there yet. This is the bridge. The Aristotle is the bridge, and I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Now, we have one very short text called the Theory of Causes in Aristotle, and that's all we need to have, and that's all I want to have. Aristotle wrote a lot. This is one volume of his major works. This is another volume. You can see there's thousands and thousands of pages, and heaven forbid that we should have to do them. Now, I want to just plunge into his theory of causes. This is important for many different reasons, 2 in particular. One is the fact that even though he uses the word cause, he means it in a different way. And it's going to take some time to get used to, quite frankly. It's not something that's, it's a little bit counterintuitive. Okay, that's the first part. The second part is that the notion of cause is really important to understand Judaism and Christianity. It's kind of the key thing in understanding how Western culture evolves from the Greeks into Christianity and then on into modern times. And we'll pick up this idea of cause as we go. Now, I doubt if anyone is going to fully grasp this because it takes a while to get used to. And so let me kind of just get into it now, keeping it as simple as possible. First of all, I'm going to use the pen as a little example here. And Aristotle has 4 causes. We tend to think of cause in terms of cause and effect. That is, I kick the soccer ball goes, in some direction or another. So that's what we mean by cause. Aristotle sees it in a different way. And so his first cause, I better say the 4 causes, for Aristotle, there's a material cause, there's a formal cause, there's an efficient cause, and there's a final cause. The final cause is the one that we really want to think about because that's the one that has to do with God, basically. But for now, what we want to do is look at how he starts. The material cause is just the stuff something is made of. And we don't really see the material or the stuff that something is made of as a cause. Aristotle did. I mean, his whole idea is if you have nothing, then you have nothing. In order to have an object, you have to have some kind of stuff or matter or material. He sees that as a cause. That's a reason why something is rather than it is not. And you can disagree with that and say it's not a cause. However, once again, the idea is this is the way Aristotle sees it. It's the same with the book. You take my little Shakespeare Hamlet here, and the material cause is the paper and maybe the wood product or whatever paper is made out of these days. Okay, in both cases, the material cause. It wouldn't have an existence without that material cause, whether it's the aluminum and plastic in the pen or the wood and paper in the book. Okay, the second cause is kind of hard for us to understand because once again, we don't really see it like this. Okay, but it makes sense because what Aristotle is saying is that, okay, you take the aluminum and the plastic and you still have nothing. You don't have a pen. In order to have the pen, you need to have a form. It's hard to kind of grasp. And for Aristotle, the form is the penness, the idea that it is indeed a pen and not an elephant or a car or a microwave. Now, you got to think about this a little bit, and then it makes sense. It's the same with a book. It would just be wood or paper until it has the form of a book. Okay, it's still not everything that it is. Either the pen is not everything that it is, and the book is not everything it is without the third cause. The third cause is what he calls the efficient cause. Now, this is easier for us to understand because this is the way we see the cause. The pen writes. That's what its major activity is. It writes, or hopefully it writes. If it's working properly, it writes. The book acts as something that you read. Reading is the efficient cause of the book. Now you see we're getting closer and closer to the whole thing. The little tea glass, once again, the material cause is the glass. The form is the material glass. The form is the glassness, that is to say, its shape and all that stuff to turn it into a little tea glass. Okay, now the efficient cause in this case is that it's something to drink out of. That's what it's supposed to be doing. Now, it's this fourth thing, which is really the most important. That is the fourth cause, and it's the final cause. And what Aristotle means by this is its purpose. What is the purpose of the pen is to write something to communicate meaning or to communicate ideas or communicate data. What is the purpose of the book? In this case, it's a play, so its purpose is to communicate make-believe incident. What is the purpose of the tea glass? For you to be able to drink warm tea when you have a sore throat. Okay, so in every single case, basically what Aristotle does is start from just the material to what the thing is like. That is to say, the pen, what he calls penness, but you don't need to use that word. The idea is it's more than just matter. It has a shape and a design and all of that sort of thing. Okay, and then once it has the shape and the design, it does something, whether it's writing, being able to read it, or to do the drinking of the tea. Now, in each case, the most important thing is the purpose. That is to say, the purpose of the book is to communicate Hamlet and to educate people about Hamlet and all the things in Hamlet. The purpose of the pen is to allow people to put stuff on paper in order to communicate ideas. Now, this is where it gets really important, because Aristotle takes this idea of purpose and shows that it is really important and wants us to think about what the purpose of not only the book is, but the purpose of our lives, the purpose of philosophy, the purpose of reading. And in Judaism and Christianity, this whole idea is taken and expanded in a really, really profound way. That is to say, what is the purpose of life? Why are people here? The answer to that is because of God. And God becomes the final cause in both Judaism and Christianity. And so obviously it's a very important way of seeing human life, looking at not just nature, not just random events, but random events that are shaped in a way that gives human life meaning. Okay, let me stop there. That will get us started, and let me see if I can get this clip onto YouTube.